Hello, this is Jamie Reese, Managing Broker with Windermere Northeast, giving a quick orientation to the market analysis charting tool that I've created for Matrix and the Northwest MLS. This is an automated way to create dynamic charts for your comparative market analysis. So we start off in Matrix, assuming that you've gone out there and done a search to identify comparable properties. Simply click on all of the properties that you want in the report, go down and click on Export. And here we're going to select the full export, which this tool is designed to use. We click on Export and Save. Go out there and find our client folder location and save it as the full export. In this case, I'm just going to replace an existing export. And I close that out, and now I just go over to that client's folder, and I've already put a copy of this tool in their folder. Double click on that, and that will open up the tool. Just takes a few seconds, and this uses Excel 2007 and 2010 as its basis for operations. Go back in and click Import Data. And we're going to import the data that we have for the tool there. We just go back to that exported data, click on it, and then click Open. And this takes about 5 to 10 seconds for that data to be imported. Right now it's being imported into 6 different reports ranging from a CMA statistics report to the pond, odds of selling, days on market, market scatter, and Priceline report. If you're familiar with Ninja training, you'll be familiar with the progression of how to present this information to clients for its greatest effect. Now while we're here in the variables and option, you can see that this reporting tool will automatically query the data that you have imported and select the appropriate ranges for prices, for square footage, for days on market, as well as dates within the report. If you want to override any of this information, it's very easy to do that. You can simply click in the yellow areas and put in your own information. Additionally, it highlights you and your marketing and allows you to put your information right there, so you can easily change this to fit your needs, where you can type in your name, your particular brokerage, as well as perhaps a client name in this. So market analysis for Lynn. There we go. All right, so the next thing that you need to do once you've imported data, you need to go in and select your favorites. Now, your favorites are going to show up as highlights on the CMA report as well as the price line. So in this case, we're just going to, all we have to do is click on a yellow field of the listing that we want and put some sort of character or number in it. Excel is smart enough to know if there's something in there, then it knows that you want that home to be a favorite in your report. And now we've selected a number of favorites for the report. And we simply need to go over to our statistical report. If you don't want your favorites highlighted in this, then the report is ready to go. You just need to change how the paging works there just by grabbing that blue line and moving it around. But if you want to highlight those properties that are your favorites, you click Rebuild. And it'll take a few seconds again to grab the information from your favorites and drag it right into this report. So we'll pause while that happens. And I'll also tell you a little bit about the price line. Again, the favorites, those that you highlighted in your favorites, are going to show up in the price line report. And again, a lot of these charts are inspired by the Ninja training, and they were created so that you can save literally an hour per report by not having to do these things manually. All right, so we've now have the statistical report that shows the highlights of the various properties here. Now we're going to look at the pond. This is what I think is the one of the most powerful tools within this program, and going to give you a little bit of a more close-up look here. So the pond shows you the full scope of this, shows you the inlet and outlet. I think that's very powerful to show a client how many homes are coming onto the market and how many are actually leaving versus how many are failing. Additionally, I think the most powerful information to be had on this report is right here, showing that the homes that are in flow, 10 of them sold, only spent about 16 days on average on market and sold for an average of 98% of original list price. Whereas the homes that were stagnant, only 6 of them sold for 80% of original list price and took 184 days on average to do it. Now, important to know, back in that variables and options, you can define your own flow period. So if you want this to be 30 days, if you want it to be 60 days, you can make that change. If you're familiar with Ninja, you'll be familiar with the odds of selling. and the dialogues that go along with that. Days on market as well. Now this is where I can show you that certainly not all trend lines are made alike, and I've put in the 4 major trend analyses that Excel have. You simply click the button and you get a new trend line. Right? At this point, you can choose the one that you think works best for the data. And I think this trend line works best for the data here. Again, you have options to go back in the variables and options and change the scale here, so you might be able to remove a few of the outliers that make so much white space on this chart. That the same is true for the market scatter. This is what I think is probably the most powerful chart in this. So in this case, I'm going to put a trend line in, and I'm going to assume that my client's home is about 2,300 square feet, and I can easily show them that the average home in their market of 2,300 square feet is selling for a little over $570,000. And I can easily do that by just moving those little hash marks around. Now, again, there's a lot of white space on this report. If I go back to the variables and options, I see here that there was a home that started out in this report at $950,000. It's kind of skewing it. So I can easily put in $700,000 there, and I go back and I change the entire look and feel of this chart. Now, of course, I've got to kind of move my hash marks around here a little bit. So I just move them up to the line. Doesn't change the data at all, but it sure changes how that data looks. And finally, we have the price line. And again, if you're familiar with the Ninja dialogues, this will all make sense, and you can see that it highlights the recently solds, the currently for sale and pendings, and the did not sell properties. So I hope you find this information helpful. I know for me at this point, it takes just a few minutes to translate the properties that I found for a CMA into this data to mark it up and get ready to print it all. This button right here, you click on it, it'll print all 6 charts at one time to your favorite printer, whether that be a PDF printer or a physical printer. Additionally, everything's set up here as well so that you can easily go in and print individual reports, again, to PDFs or to physical copies. So again, I hope you find this information valuable. If you want to trial this tool, you can get a 5-day trial of it by going to MACharts.com. That's Mike Alfred charts.com. Give you a 5-day trial. If you like it, then please do buy it. You can also give us feedback and ask questions at the website macharts.com. You'll see a contact us link, and I'll be happy to get back with you via email. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.